Hello and welcome. I am Tarvo and this is Discgolf Express, and today I'm bringing to you Baltic Discgolf Championships from Alutaguse Open 2022, and with me I have a player from Switzerland, Martin Cheney. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And yeah, there you are with the red hat. Is it weird to see yourself on a video?
Well, this is kind of my business and I enjoy playing disc golf, so it kind of, this is what happens when you play well, I guess.
Good point. So we're going to watch round one of MP40 at Golden Eagle in Alutaguse Disc Golf Park. So you have played this place before?
No, this is the first time. I had one practice round 2 days ago.
And your general opinion of the place?
Well, I really love the track. It's set up beautiful, there's a lot of space. I love to play in the forest, and it's going to be a great round.
Indeed it is. So we're going to start sending off all the 4 players. Let's check out who are the other 3 you're going to play with. First we're going to have Ville Piippo. So he's kind of a big name in MP40. So what's your opinion? Because for me it was a kind of surprise that it seems like he plays only with forehand.
Yeah, that's his style for many years. He won 2 European titles with it and he almost throws it in on the first hole. Beautiful skip from the bullseye.
Yeah. If you can throw a forehand like this, why change it? And second one we have Marko Narits, a local boy. Have you seen him before?
Yeah, I met him in Croatia, in Copenhagen, Kokkedal, and in Nokia as well. He's a great player.
Like we can see, this shot was stopped by the bush. So it seems like birdie is going to be really hard to get. And here you are. So for you, I'm going to ask, like, we can see your number is really small, PDGA number on the screen. When did you start playing?
I started playing disc golf many years before I got my first PDGA number, but the reason the number is so low is because the Europeans were handed out a set of numbers back in the days when to fill up the European numbers. So there's quite a lot of European players that have low numbers, but then it stops abruptly and jumps to, I don't know, 15,000 or 16,000 is when the next people come.
And for 4 players we have Raimo Kimmel, who is actually a big name in Estonia, and I think even in Europe. That I can't speak for Europe, you know, I can speak for Estonians, but like we can see we have 3 draws under the basket on this hole number 1, which I think it's really good hole number 1, to be honest. It's 95 meters, but since it's uphill I think it plays more like 110, something like that.
Yeah, but there was a slight tailwind, so it was a bit easier to reach the basket probably at this time.
And here we can see Marko. It's not the range where you should try to get the birdie, to be honest, because of the slope. So a really good approach shot from him. And also on the screen we can see one of my supporters of my channel, Bobo Fishing. So any Europeans, when you visit Estonia and you like fishing but you don't have your gear with you, this is the place to get the stuff you need, because they actually give a lot back to Estonian disc golf. And meanwhile we had already first birdie, and of course Marko with the par. And since we haven't seen you throwing, it seems like on hole 1 you got the CTP.
Yeah, I was inside the bullseye, which was I was really happy about that.
So, and you made it. How many mistakes you make from inside the bullseye?
Not that many. I try to really keep that, I don't know. I've done one maybe many years ago, and I think it's really important to just focus, even for the shortest putts.
Yes, and hole number 2 is a par 4, 280 meters. It's a tough one where you have to miss the Mando and you need to stay on the road. That's the keyword of all the holes here in Alutaguse. And we see Ville starting.
Yeah, this sets up really nice for for a big forehand if you have it, or a big Annie flex.
Yeah, like we see, he parks his shot just next to the Mando tree. I think it's the perfect place where to park your shot. You're going to go with a different approach, of course,
Yeah.
but we can see you're kind of a little bit in trouble there, to be honest.
Yeah.
It looks like a big hole.
It didn't look.
It didn't look the best shot of your life, of course.
No.
But that's that one.
Yeah, Raimo, I think it's also the same tailwind we had on hole 1. It kind of makes the discs flex out a bit too early. And see if Marko can correct from that.
Yeah, it seems it's correcting out, but it's better, a lot better, to be honest. At least it's close to the fairway. And Ville, with his safe shot, is the furthest from the pin, but it looks the easiest shot.
Yeah, and actually the fairway opens up really to the right, so there's room for the disc to hyzer out if you throw a forehand.
And here you are doing some maintenance work. Was your disc buried really deep there?
Well, it was underneath about half a meter of stuff, so to really put my foot safe and move, I decided to clear out the stuff. Yeah,
that makes sense. And the main thing when you clear stuff, you have to keep in mind it's meant for not to hurt yourself by PDGA rules. And we haven't seen Raimo throw yet, meaning it's the furthest. I believe if that shot have come by that tree, actually it probably would have been really close to the circle.
Yeah.
Now Raimo is in the forest.
Yeah, so he has to work some angles to get back into the fairway and proceed.
Yeah, it was a tough lie, but he managed to progress a little bit. It's something. Something interesting while we see you shooting. I wanted to ask, when we're doing the commentary, should I do the Estonian names in my Estonian accent or with English? Because then I have to say Marko, Raimo. It sounds a little different.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean, my name, like, not even the Germans can pronounce my last name correctly most of the time, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, but the first name, it sounds the same in Estonian, I think, Martin. It's not that different. But that's the love of Discgolf, what brings different cultures together, and that's why we are here. And here we're enjoying your throw approach. This is about 20 meters, maybe?
Maybe a bit further. I tried to actually give it a soft bit to throw it in, but yeah.
Yeah, it was probably too direct on the basket. Should have more space to it. And that's Ville's third shot, actually. It's actually really close. He actually gave it a bit, and it was really close for birdie. I believe this one is for par.
Yeah, that was a good putt.
Yeah, that was a really nice one. Also notice with commentary, like all disc golfers, that we tend to stay quiet while they're putting, even on film. It's like a habit. It's a good habit, but sometimes it's really hard to remember that when you're doing commentary that they can't hear you. But I think it's going to be for you a bogey.
Yeah,
Yes,
after that first shot, it was likely to.
Yeah, it was the likely kind of result, or that kind of bad kick from that tree. But it's not the end of the world yet.
No, I mean, it's a long course. There's a lot of difficult holes.
And we have hole number 3, 93 meters. It's one of the ones which is still simple, I think. If you're right hand, it should be a forehand for sure, I believe, because the basket lies on the right side. So I really expect Ville to get a birdie on this one.
It's also slight downhill, so you don't even need that much power to reach it, the basket. Ville completely misses his line.
But a really good roll, and I think it's like 5 or 6 meters. Like a really lucky kick from that tree.
So I heard that Raimo has been working a lot on his sidearm. Let's see what it looks like. That looks really clean.
Yeah, and really nice line as well. It's almost on bullseye. I think it's just outside of the bullseye, but still beautiful. I also seen Marko actually throwing forehand really nicely, so I was surprised to see him actually doing backhand. It almost went inside of the gap, but still, there's some trees on the forest. Which one do you prefer, backhand or sidearm?
Definitely backhand. I haven't practiced my sidearm in disc golf much. I used to play a lot of ultimate and I had a good sidearm there. And here I was lucky, I guess.
Yeah, it looks really lucky, but it looks also like inside of the circle.
Yeah.
I think this one is going to be a broad shot because it looks too far away.
Well, I think it gives it a bit.
Yeah, perhaps it's like turned correctly. And that's a birdie putt now.
Yeah. So birdie putts early in the round, I mean, you should really take advantage if you can.
Let's see if you can. And you did. Actually, interesting start for you. Because 3 holes and you don't have a par yet.
Oh.
So you have a birdie, you have a bogey, and you have a birdie. And the Ville's start is really good, to be honest. Because in hole number 2 is really was close for a birdie as well. Coming to the event, what was your kind of goals?
Well, it's really tough if you have to practice 2 courses in a very short period of time. So, I mean, I try to be as close to the top as possible. I know that a lot of these holes are really made for Ville's sidearm, and he is a really strong player and has been for so many years. So it will be really hard. And then you have Raimo, who is, I don't know, known in these areas really for his strong play. Marko, who has been playing really strong this year as well. So being anywhere near the top is a great thing.
And since you mentioned Ville having a really good, strong forehand and suits him a little on this course, but here we have a hole which it doesn't suit at all.
No, there's not much you can do if you don't have a backhand, but he kind of manages. I mean, he pulls out the forehand roller.
Yeah, and that roller actually was really close of making it look really simple.
Yeah.
Like we can see, Raimo didn't get to manage, not close to the circle, to be honest. It looked like 15 plus meters.
I think he's just outside the circle.
Really?
We'll see.
That one actually looked clean. A little bit more skip and it will have been perfect.
Yeah. And this is a scary green. It's sloping downhill. There's these wooden poles beneath the basket that can give you some action if you land too close.
This also, it was too inside.
Yeah.
For sure, and there's the disc. So Ville is going to start. Have you played a lot with Ville in different tournaments?
I have played with him, not in. Oh, he gets a really bad roll.
Yeah,
here.
indeed.
I've played with him in a few tournaments, but not in the last few years. Obviously, because of the pandemic, and I don't know. Maybe he has just been in other parts of the world. There's a really good layup.
Indeed, actually perfect.
Yeah.
No fuss. It's actually just outside the circle.
Yeah, it's like 11 or 12 meters.
Yeah.
Downhill putt, really scary. But he looks determined. and just
bullseye.
buries it. Yeah. He's excited about this one.
Yeah.
And so I'm inside the circle actually, just 1 meter. I have a similar putt, downhill as well.
So how did it feel to putt after this one?
Well, I wanted to make it, obviously.
Yeah, and it was so close.
It was really close.
So you feel like when somebody is putting from a similar positions and makes it in, you feel like you have to do it as well.
Not that much. I mean, if I'm in a good position, I need to make it anyway. It's my opinion. That was a really good save from Ville.
Indeed, between those small trees, and you have to be happy with that.
Yeah. And that was a good healthy 8 meters he had uphill.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to hole number 5, the first one of the really long holes. 220 meters you have to make to this corner. Here you have to also miss the mando and get to this kind of treacherous basket. If you miss it a little bit, you can say bye-bye and the disc rolls, it can go to Narnia.
Yeah, this is the trip. The first time you play this hole, you see the first shot, it looks big, and then it's a lot further than it actually looks that you have to throw.
Oh, Raimo was actually really close to actually making it perfect.
Yeah.
That looked, well, it's way too much to the right, let's be honest.
Yeah, and too much want on that one.
Yeah. This has to be a scary hole for a sidearm, to be honest.
But it's a wide fairway, and he really knows how to work those angles.
Yes, it looks beautiful. And he even goes past the corner.
Yeah, he's too far.
Huge shot with a forehand. Let's see if we can get one actually making a perfect line with the backhand.
So it is also a bit downhill, and it's, I think, 130 to get to the perfect landing zone.
It almost made a black ace actually. Actually now I remember when I see it, Marko was telling that when we would have played the short hole, it would have been perfect. From trouble to trouble.
Yeah, I was just trying to get progress because the mando is quite far up the second part of the fairway, so there's a lot of room there.
Good point, just to get as much progress as possible. And that is what Marko actually did. I can't do much better from that position because the trees are just in honest lines.
Yeah, and the way the basket sits on top of that hill, even the open gap, it's a scary shot to throw up there.
Here we can see the basket again, and from this angle I think your idea is not to get to the basket.
Yeah.
Get close enough to the mount and...
Yeah, get past the mando and then get some kind of shot that gets me close.
And here actually we have a one and only moment where Ville was too fast for me. So I had to run to the position, but we managed to catch that shot actually. And I'm happy about that. Actually, you can see the basket from here so nicely. Just that's a perfect layup.
Yeah, and so attacking it from the right side opens up the forehand play, which makes the landing on the mound much easier.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I hope anybody watching right now, you're making notes. You're taking the outside route. And actually it looks like it was a good 3-8 because it was coming in hot.
Yeah, that could have gone way past.
And I think Marko took the same cap as you. And lucky again, because on this hillside, you can get really unlucky. Like we can see, Ville is actually checking what's behind the basket, and he's making the smart play.
Yeah, he
Let's
can
be
jump
honest.
as high as he can. He will never see the back of the
Yeah.
hill.
What were you doing there?
I was just checking the wind by the basket, because sometimes if you have these big hills, it can be really funny.
That's true. And it helped.
Yeah, I knew
Perfect.
I had to try it.
And that was a perfect hit, perfect putt, well done. And actually, it looks a little bit harder, I think.
I think this is
Then it
plenty
is.
hard. The basket is really high. I mean, Marko. I mean,
Okay, now I see when it's next to the basket. Then, because for me, to be honest, I like the tall baskets because I'm more than average height. So usually the small baskets, they are trouble for me.
Yeah, but this one is really high, and there's nothing but air around it.
Yeah, true. When you miss it, then it's bye-bye.
So Ville just slams it in, takes
Yeah.
another par.
So actually those are really nice scores for the group. Just one bogey. And we are going to move on to the hole number 6, which is a par 4, 170 meters. But it's not easy as the last one. You have to land by perfect shot around here. And from there you can attack this green, which is protected with a lot of trees.
Yeah, so this is a pure gap shot. You have to go at least 75 meters dead straight and then start fading to the left. So this is the Saint Pro of Raimo, and he just hits it.
This is
perfectly.
perfect.
Goes past the tee pad.
And a
lands in the
good
middle.
kick in the end as well. And again, I think it's a hard hole for the forehand.
Yeah, but he likes to work his putters and just turn them over.
But this actually looks nice. Did he make the gap? But it's on the fairway.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Indeed. I think he actually made it to the perfect place where I showed on the intro. It looked like it dropped all the way down on the right side, so it should not be too deep. So your game plan on this hole is simple, right? Just make the gap and see what comes from there.
Yeah, exactly.
And what are you throwing?
This is a buzz.
So, to anybody who doesn't know what a buzz is, it's a mid-range, a stable mid-range.
Yeah, from Discraft.
Yeah, so it looks like a actually good choice.
Yeah.
But you didn't hit the gap, sadly. And on this hole, if you miss the gap, I think there's nothing you can do. You just have to pitch out. Let's see what you're going to do. There you are, really deep. You were so deep that I didn't follow you, sorry.
Now this was one of the worst positions. I mean, I was just happy to get out. I was actually quite lucky. I hit the tree, kicked
Yeah.
off it, and landed in the fairway. But I got to the right side of the fairway, and now this is a, yeah, it's an open shot to the basket. It's much further than I can throw, but
And you went down to the knee. There were some branches
yeah,
on the way.
yeah, and also the hip is much more stable.
Yeah, when it's fixed.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So here we have Ville. Okay, this looks a good angle. Does it have enough distance? It's close enough.
Maybe, but he is known to be a good putter.
Yes,
Let's
we
see.
have already seen on these 5 holes that he has a really beautiful putting stroke. It looks so easy for him. This was also close to Ville, I believe. And finally now, it seems like half an hour later we get to Raimo.
Second shot.
Yeah, it's simple, just make it to the basket. It's like 40
Yeah.
meters.
Textbook.
And lucky that tree actually caught it in a way that I think it didn't went too deep. But we will see in a bit. And here you had a little Annie.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy way to stop a disc throwing it like
Yeah.
that.
I think it's coming from any ultimate players I have seen coming to disc golf. This kind of any soft shot, you do it so nicely. It's just beautiful to watch. And here we have a Ville for a birdie, and it's like 5 or 6 meters, not more.
Yeah, and he buries it.
Center.
Yeah.
Ah. When somebody else wants to say again that hole number 6 is not for forehand, come and watch this video. Like it is, you can do it.
It's maybe not the easiest kind of birdie, but well, the second part. I mean, Raimo, his second shot was a forehand, but like the first shot is really tough. So this was, yeah, as good as you can do it.
And like we can see, Ville and Raimo trying to run away. And sadly, Marko is collecting his first bogey and is on the positive side, and same with you. But we're going to move on to hole number 7, which is par 3, 83 meters. You have to hit this gap on the left, and it slopes a little bit down, and the hole is on the left side. So again, it should fit more for backhand, but the turn is not that heavy, so it should also fit for a sidearm.
Yeah, this is quite an easy shot if you compare it to the others. There's quite a lot of room. You can choose your angle, your height, your distance, and you have it fade in.
And here we see a perfect example of that. And let's see what Ville can do with the forehand.
It's a similar shot as before, turned over a bit more, but he leaves it too high and it is
Probably
buried.
the nose angle was wrong, but a really good roll, to be honest. It's better to be on the fairway than in the bushes.
Definitely. Marko with the mid-range.
And that looks actually perfect.
Yeah, just pures it. Skips to the basket, bullseye.
Textbook. Really nicely done. And the best part of this hole is like nobody actually knows how good the shot was. So when you go on the tee, did you know that was a good shot before and you just have to follow the line?
It looked really good. I mean, you can kind of see where you need to go. So this was
And
just...
it looks exactly the same line but different disc. It was, I think it was a little bit more overstable.
Yeah, it's a T-bird, an old one, and it was just too soft.
Because it looked to me like you hit the exact line as Marko did. And a beautiful layup from Ville.
Yeah, this was inside the circle actually, some little trees in front of my hand.
Yeah.
And a complete air ball.
Yeah, and those happens, and this is something you have to get over with so fast because it's not over yet. And a beautiful birdie.
5 down through 7. I mean, he is smoking hot right now.
Yeah, you can't do any better.
Nervy par save.
Yeah, it looked a little bit dirty, but the main thing it's in. That is what counts. And a simple birdie for Marko.
Yeah, gets him back to even.
Yeah, a bogey is followed by a birdie. It's the best way to come back. You can see he was happy as well. And Ville just tapping out and moving on. And we're going to also move on to hole number 8, a par 5, 260 meters. Do you know that this basket is called the Tetris?
No.
Because it has 2 really sharp corners, this is the second corner. And here you finally get to the hole. Like a really, really tough hole. And it's so easy to get a really, really big number. Because each of your shots, they have to be perfect and they have to be really long, at least 100 meters.
So this one sets up really nice for Ville sidearm because you need to throw about 110 meters to get to the corners.
Yeah. And we already have seen he has that power. Oh, Marko had a little friend on the shoulder. And that actually looks really nice. Maybe too much ground play. But
Yeah, but it's a long hole. I mean, you have 5 throws to get to the basket. And there's a lot of distance he covered with that first throw.
And for Ville, I remember he wasn't happy with that.
No, he overcooked it a little bit. And
It was short, but the roll actually gave some extra steps.
Yeah, and he's dead center. Maybe a couple of paces short for where he wanted to be.
But still good. So I think you just try to get much distance as possible.
Yeah, and then maybe also end to the left so you can have some kind of easier, like make the corner a bit larger.
Yeah, like we can see, you have a straight sight to the corner. And so here should be a simple game plan, just turn around the corner and see what you can have after that.
Yeah, don't be too greedy, don't go too deep, don't be too tight.
And maybe that was a little bit too deep, like you said, but it's on the edge.
Yeah.
So it should give you some options. Like we can see, Marko has a little bit less options here. So he tries something special and
That does it perfectly.
just beautiful.
Yeah, just this putter.
Yeah,
Eliminating.
that's why we love disc golf, the shots, because of shots like that.
So Raimo cut the corner early and he's looking to go straight back to the fairway.
And the last tree, the very last tree on the edge, said no.
Yeah, sends him back into the forest. So Ville, rare sighting, throwing a backhand, Anheuser, perfect.
Indeed. Like we can see, actually you're not that bad.
No, but I mean, the hole is to the left. The basket is to the left of the path, you can see. So you want to end to the left. So a hyzer would be easier. But I didn't have that option. Whoa.
Ah, that was a really nice cap hit. So this should give you a nice option for a par.
Yeah.
And we see Raimo is still in the forest. Just. Okay, that was a really unlucky roll. Let's see how deep it went. And now I remember Marko really tried to shortcut the hole. And when it was flying, it was said, even I think he said like, perfect, the angle he wanted, but the tree said no.
So Ville just played to the mouth. But the green is huge. Like this is incredible. It's so big, the place once you get there. Oh, that's a good kick, maybe.
Yes, and now we see what Marko has left. And basically nothing. You just, when I play with my friends, I call this shot close your eyes and pray shot.
Yeah.
But I don't think he closed his eyes and he made it perfect.
Yeah, he went through, slid to the basket, he's all there.
And you have some kind of still small cap to hit. I think this is the place where your ultimate kind of comes to play. That you just have to make it soft and clean and really hit your line. Maybe that was a little bit shorter than Ville wanted, but he will still take it, I believe.
So Raimo actually went past the entrance, and so now he has to work something around to get back to the basket. This is still like 45, 50, oh, maybe not that far.
And he was actually a little bit lucky that he didn't hit any branches. So I believe everybody is putting for a par, because the hole is so long, you kind of lose count a little bit if you try to count everybody.
I think Raimo lost one stroke in the forest trying to get back
that's
to the
true.
forest.
In the corner.
Getting back to the fairway, yeah.
So most likely he's putting for bogey. Let's see. Yes, it was a bogey. But let's be honest, it was actually a good bogey save because I checked the scorecards. There was a lot of 8s on this hole.
I think after this hole, Ville told me, I think we are playing quite good as a card.
Yeah, indeed. And we're moving to hole number 9, par 4, 180 meters. It's similar to the other par 4. It's really tight. You have to hit your line perfectly to get those corners and even the green. You can see it's really small.
Yeah. So the landing zone on this one is a bit closer than the other ones, but it's quite a tight Anheuser shot.
Yeah. You have to make the corner. Something like that, but that was maybe too much. This basket you see is meant for the amateurs, so they're not playing it. So this first shot actually plays well for Ville. Like you can see, it's middle of the fairway. Even though I think he wanted to get more distance.
Yeah, he missed his shot and was too much outside, but he's in the fairway.
That's also looked like a clean line. That was a bad kick. On those heavy trees, Christmas trees, you don't want to be, because you still have a long way to go to the next corner. This.
Yeah, he pulled that one.
Now look this one.
Whoa, almost gets a black ace.
Indeed. I remember he was so disgusted about this shot actually.
Yeah.
But the result is perfect.
Yeah, it's the best drive of the group.
Probably even for the day. It's hard to believe that anybody got better shot from there, to be honest.
Wow. So yeah, there's nothing here.
Yeah, it's probably just pitching out.
Well, I was trying to get at least past the corner with a big T-bird shot.
Yeah, it went really high. Can you see it coming down? No, you didn't make the corner.
I didn't.
So here we have Marko, and he actually has a look for the really fairway. Just too much angle.
Yeah, too understable.
Like we can see, if it would have been stable in the out, it would have been under the basket. And this is where Raimo is. Just perfect.
Yeah, it's about 85, 90 meters to the basket, slide downhill.
And this one was too much overstable.
Yeah.
But still close to the circle. So I believe he actually had a small look from there, but the Christmas trees are really annoying. Here, you remember you were playing with the tall tree?
Yeah, there's a tree. Like my disc was really buried. Oh, wow. That was a good hit.
Indeed. Yeah, so the disc was buried under that really long fallen tree, and we just moved it. That was beautiful. Seems like Marko's really strong side is like his approach shots.
Yes.
Like it looks really simple for him.
Easy jump putt layup with a bit of a roll.
Yeah, it was under the basket, but now it's on around 6 meters. And here you are. I think
just outside the circle.
Yes.
Maybe 11 meters.
Beautiful. Well done, sir.
Yep, that was important.
And here we have Raimo. Similar distance. And yeah, the branches were most likely on his way. So we are not going to see a birdie, sadly.
And he was in a perfect position.
And just talks to how hard this course actually is.
Yeah. With no OB, just some endos.
Yeah, the forest is the OB. When you get too much to the forest, it's like OB. And with this hole, we kind of finished the first 9. And I believe that we're going to see the top 10 after 9 holes. The fun part is that all of our players are here on top 10, which shows the group is playing really well, like you said. And from here, we're going to finish front 9, because I'm eager to watch back 9, to be honest.
See you there.
See you there.